Hey everyone, really excited. Today I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite hunting scopes. This is a Trijicon 2.5 to 15 by 42. And what I really like about this scope is it is extremely durable. It's got an amazing magnification range, 2.5 on the low end, gives you a really wide field of view. 15 on the high end is plenty for well over 1,000. And it has a lot of internal adjustment. So real quick on the specs is it's about 22.9 ounces. So it's a little heavier than the LHT, but I definitely think that it's justified. For example, the parallax is extremely smooth, just durable. The windage dial is very tactile as well as the elevation. So they didn't skimp on the durability or the quality here, and they still got it within 22, 23 ounces, which it's not the lightest hunting scope, but it's actually what I would consider in a good range for kind of that hybrid or crossover scope. So I picked the 42 millimeter objective because it does give you a little bit less weight, a little bit smaller profile, and they do give you a nice neoprene sleeve. I wish more scope companies would do that. So it's extremely compact. It's just really a great system here. And it is super windy today. It's pretty hot, so bear with me on the audio, but this is going to be a fun video for sure. So about the Credo, the reason why I picked it was I was looking for a lightweight option that had a 3 to 15, 2.5 to 15 range that would be very durable, no matter if I was if it got hit or just dropped, things like that. And so there's been a lot of guys talking about the Trijicons, and they actually do drop testing, and they advertise that they do drop testing. And Trijicon just is, they build tough products. And so they test these with shooting a lot of rounds on them, and I guess they call it more of a shock test is what you could call it. So it gave me a lot of confidence. Now the Credo is made in Japan, and it is gonna have extremely good glass. It's actually the same glass as their 10 mile series. And so when you're looking at these, if you find a 10 mile, like there's a 3 to 18 10 mile, it basically has a different magnification range, and they come with a sunshade and Tenebrex caps. But the Credo, from what I understand, very similar internals, also has the same glass. And so I really liked this range, 2.5 to 15. That was my pick. I picked it up used, and this is just a really good scope. It has one of the best illuminations that I've seen on scopes. Definitely better than the LHT from the illumination standpoint. And it's also giving you a throw lever that you just screw on here. So everything is just smooth, well thought out. I really like how you can unscrew the top here, but you can re-index the 0 by just screwing these off. The Maven scopes do that too, but very slick design. There's just not really a feature on here that I feel like is missing for a do-it-all scope. It's not going to be the best super long range scope. Maybe it's not the best ultralight hunting scope, but it's a great crossover. It's in that ballpark with the LHT. Now, the parallax, so it goes to 1,000 yards, and the windage is capped. So I really like that about this. The elevation is exposed, so it's not locking, but there's a really good zero stop on this. One thing I thought was interesting on this was the total elevation adjustment. They say 29.1 MRAD, and once I get it 0, I'll bottom it out to show you guys what I have. But this thing, like with this 7 mag, it's gonna take me well over a mile, which I'm not gonna probably shoot with this scope, but it's got a lot of adjustment. The 10 mile series, like the 5 to 25, the 3 to 18, when they have those longer zoom ranges, I noticed they were like 60, 65 MOA on the total elevation adjustment. So kind of an interesting thought there is that like the Credos have a lot of good elevation. Even their 4 to 16 Credo have a lot of elevation. So if you're looking for like a 50 millimeter objective, there's a 4 to 16. I wanted that low end 2.5 for that wide field of view. So I'll add the field of view numbers, but they're impressive for sure for this scope. And this is not an uber expensive scope. When you look in the used market for sure, you can get a good Japanese scope, extremely durable for a great price. Now to me, the only con that I have found so far is the reticle. It does have a kind of a post reticle, and you've got your holdovers, which is nice, but it's a little thin. And so I believe that the quarter dot, or the dot is a quarter MOA, and the LHT is 0.35. I wish it was maybe a little bit bigger for hunting. That's primarily what I'm using it for, as well as the lines, they're fairly thin. But as you stretch it out, it's really nice, and the illumination is really good all the way through, super clean. So it's not a big deal. But if you're hunting like low light hours and you're not able to use illumination in your state, you might have a little bit of a slower time with target acquisition with this reticle. I have not actually had that experience yet. It's just a thought I've observed. There's not thick post on the outside like with the Maven I've looked at, or the LHT, that help you kind of zero in on it. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. For long range shooting, it's going to be amazing, but maybe for like those closer low light situations, something to think about with this scope. That's kind of the only thing that I would mention so far to consider there. So let's hop in and start shooting. We're going to get a 0 and then just start stretching it out. Today we're just going to kind of see how it performs. A little bit about my setup real quick. This is a Savage long range hunter. It is one that I got off clearance. I would not necessarily say go buy this rifle. I've had issues with it. I had to send it in. Savage got it fixed up, but basically I had pressure issues when I was shooting monolithic bullets with it. But I'd be happy to chat more about that if anyone else has had that issue. But now it's shooting good. It shoots 162 ELDX, factory ammo, over 3,000 feet per second, and it's shooting 1/2 inch to 3/4 consistently. We've gotten 1/4 inch groups out of it, so it's a great shooting rifle. Definitely MOA is what I would say, or sub MOA for sure. Very confident in its shooting ability. I've got an Allen cheek rest here, super simple. I like the padding, those are super cheap. Spartan Precision bipod, this is a long, it's a regular Spartan head, so the basic head, and then I bought these tack legs on clearance that are long legs. I don't use the muzzle brake that it comes with, I left it on, and that's pretty much it. Everything is factory. I've got the Credo with the basic rifle, and then I always use a bubble level. This is I think it's an Iota with a light, and then some Night Force rings. I do like those Night Force rings. Happy to talk more about rings with you guys, but you don't want to go cheap on your rings. And so it's important to set it up correctly. I'm going to show you guys in the future how I do that. Get it perfectly level, do it once, know that it's going to be rock solid, and that way when you zero it, you're good. You just have to verify when you're hunting, or just continue to make sure it stays on. A little bit about the setup, nothing crazy. If anyone has questions about the rifle or bipod, I'm happy to answer those. I do like the bipod and the cheek rest for sure. I just would not say go out and buy this Savage rifle. So let's get shooting. And again, thank you guys for bearing with me. It's hot, it's windy, but wanted to show you guys this scope, why it's my preferred hunting scope right now. Here we go at 100. We're gonna verify our 0. Barrel's real hot. We have to take a break here. So that was shot number 1, 2, 3. And then I moved over 2 clicks for the scope. It's an MRAD. And I hit right here, here, and there. And so I would say that that's probably under 1 inch. Happy with that to start. So now we're going to go ahead and just move back. And this is for having a fun range day. If I was hunting, I would spend more time on my 0, make sure it's exactly where I want it. And I'm happy with this though to start moving back. Okay, here we are at 652 yards. I had to dial with my 7 mag 3.2 MRAD up, 0.5 left. We're about a 7-8 mile an hour wind right now. First round impact. We can tell. So a little low, not too bad. Zoomed out a little bit on the spotting scope. Send another. That plate is either 10 or 12 inches wide. I'll measure it and let you guys know. I kind of like to get a bigger one someday just so I can always know where I'm at. I went from 100 to 650 and super happy with that. If you guys haven't shot long range, go give it a shot. It's so much fun. So that's my group at 650. I think that last one right below is when I held over a little bit. So that wind is a little stronger than I thought, closer to 10 probably. But super happy with that. I really enjoy shooting long range. It's a ton of fun. If you guys have never done it, give it a shot. So let's keep going here. All right, so based on what I saw with the spotter, the 7 mag was basically these three. And then the Creedmoor, I believe is this. One or two here and then a high one. So I think I was just a hair low, maybe a hair right with this wind. Then I overcompensated above, and then I came back down with the Creedmoor. 7 mag was doing good, just a little bit low, a couple inches, and then a little bit to the right. But happy with that overall, so now we're gonna move back. And we are just right off that right. All right, guys. This is gonna be my last shot. Burning ammo. So I wasn't able to get out there today, hit that target, but it was real close. It's all right. All right, we're gonna end with that. Just wasn't able to get on. Feel like it was close. I jumped from 650 to 1090. Just to show you guys what it looks like. And so sometimes you're just not hitting what you want, and that's all right. We'll try it again another day. But yeah, it was a good day still. So thanks again for watching, guys. That's the Credo. I feel like it's tracking really well. The elevation looked really close. It's just my wind at that distance with that target. I'm not gonna hunt at that distance. Just wanting to send it, see how close I could get, and didn't have an impact, but it's all right. A lot of heat, mirage, and I thought we were very close. So still had a lot of fun shooting that far. And thanks again for watching.